welcome back. It's Michael, your dental hygienist, and today we're going to be talking about interviews. All right, we're going to make this video hopefully nice and short, sweet, and to the point. Okay, so when I applied for Dental Hygiene School, they actually sent out interviews for 40 people, I believe, and they were going to accept about 24 people. So they sent out the interviews, and whenever I was shadowing a dental hygienist, which is something that was required before, but it was waived after COVID, I was shadowing a dental hygienist who actually graduated from the same program that I was applying to. So I got lucky, and she gave me a little bit of details about the how the interview was going to work. So it was supposed to be a panel of 6 people, and they were all going to ask you a question individually, and you would have to answer that question. And they were going to allow you 5 minutes to respond to that question. And so you were going to do it in front of a panel of 6. And that's what I expected it to be, but it turned out that's not how it went. After COVID, they changed, and I also think they wanted to kind of change up how the interview process worked. They turned it into 6 individual interview questions, and so they had 6 of our future professors in individual rooms, and we went in there and they asked us a question, and we had 5 minutes to answer it. So yeah, so let's get into the questions that they asked me and my responses. All right, so let's get into it, y'all. So the first question that they asked me, sorry to put on my glasses and grab my notes. So the first question they asked me was, say for instance, you're working at a dental office and you are confirming calls for the next day, and you try to confirm a call, but the person doesn't answer, but there's a patient on the schedule that you know will come in for sure without a doubt, and so you go ahead and you swap those patients out, right? You take the patient who doesn't confirm their appointment with the patient you know who's going to come in, and the next day both of them come in. What is your solution to that problem? Girl, when they asked me that question, I said, and honestly, I'm not gonna lie, I started off, and I was really confident when I started it, okay? I started off with saying, well, I actually worked at a Massage Envy, which I did for a while. I worked at a Massage Envy where we had to book appointments all the time, and scheduling was really, really important. And double booking patients or clients is something that happens often, but it's something that you really try to avoid. And honestly, then I got stuck. I was like, so I said, well, if both patients come in, I would just speak with with the professional that they're seeing, and see if that professional can take both clients at the same time, or if there's a way that we can get both clients taken care of. And if not, then I would just do my best to go ahead and get one of the patients rebooked, as best as I could, whoever would be more willing to get rebooked. And yeah, honestly, that question shook me up, y'all. It really shook me up. Okay, it really did. And then I kind of went back and I said, yeah, that's kind of how I would handle that situation. But to be quite honest with you, I would never take someone off the schedule just because they didn't confirm their appointment. There's times where people don't answer their phones, or they've already got it set up and they figure you're just calling to leave an appointment, appointment voicemail or something like that. So I just wouldn't automatically take someone off the schedule and just assume. So basically I followed it up with that. So that's how that first question went, girl. That question, I was not expecting that, At first I was expecting give us some characteristics, or tell us about yourself, some positives, some negatives, something like that. But that one kind of threw me for a loop because they put you into that situation. But it was a good question to ask. And honestly, I think I did a pretty good job at the end, kind of coming back and trying to save it a little bit. So yeah, that was the first question they asked. Okay, y'all, so the second question that they asked me, I was actually expecting it, okay? I was kind of expecting it because, it's like one of those interview questions. They asked me, what kind of characteristics do you think a successful dental hygienist needs? Okay, so I told them that I believe that you have to be dedicated to perfecting your craft. I also told them that you have to be detail oriented, and then I also told them you have to be flexible. I said you have to be dedicated to perfecting your craft because in dental hygiene, things can change, you know what I mean? And you were also in a very, very physical work environment. So you always have to keep your standards high. You know, as you're getting older, things kind of change, your dexterity changes, your strength changes. So you have to honestly constantly be updating yourself on better ways to clean, on better ways to physically keep your body from harm. You know, so you have to always just be, you know, making yourself better in your job, no matter where you are. And then what else did I say? I said you have to be detail oriented. That's a huge deal when it comes to dental hygiene. Super detail oriented. We're like reading x-rays that have like small, you know, little, you know, projections on them that you see as plaque, and you have to notice that and recognize that and be able to clean that and see that and feel for that. And sometimes you probably won't even be able to see things. You have to just literally feel for it. Yeah, so you have to be extremely detail oriented. It's in the name of the job. Then I also said that you have to be flexible. I think this one really, the lady really enjoyed, because I kind of got this from the dental hygienist who I was working, who I shadowed under. She told me that dental hygiene, like the skills that she learned was great, like, you know, and she honed in her skills. That was great, but that wasn't the whole job. You actually also had to deal with personalities. You have to manage personalities in dental, as a dental hygienist. So I told them you have to be flexible, and not only in like your work, you know, because, you know, things happen, patients come in, you know, things change on the schedule all the time, but also you have to be flexible in that you're dealing with multiple different types of people and all kinds of people who have different attitudes when it comes to visiting the dentist or coming in to get their teeth cleaned. So you have to manage those personalities, and you have to be flexible, and you have to find a way to build rapport and, you know, make your clients or your patients feel comfortable. So yeah, that's what I said on that one. She kind of liked that one. She was eating that one up, I'm not gonna lie. Okay, y'all. So the third question they asked me was, how important are ethics? Basically, I don't exactly remember what they asked, like specifically, but it was a question about ethics, and they were asking me like, why are ethics important? And I actually went in with a story, and I told them about how I had a friend in class, right? And we had a government class together. I had took a government test a day before they did, because they were out of town. But we knew that the test was going to be exactly the same. It was going to be the same test. The professor didn't create a whole new test for them. So I ended up taking the test, and I did really well on it. I studied for it, and they basically asked me for the answers to the test. And I let them know that made me feel uncomfortable, that I didn't want to share my answers with them, but I would be more than happy to help them study. I would be more than happy to go up to the professor and ask with them, you know, because sometimes people aren't always confident about the stuff that they're learning, or confident in asking the professor alone about questions that they have. So we can go up to the professor together, or I can ask the professor about questions that you have if you feel too nervous to do so in order to help you. But I don't think that is ethical for me to give you the answers to this, because one, you're not going to learn anything, and then two, I think I will be doing myself a disservice as well, because it's not really a mutually beneficial relationship. But most importantly, you're not going to learn anything, and that's going to hurt you in the future. That's basically what I did. I basically said, nah, bitch, you ain't cheating off of me. Okay, so the fourth question they asked me was, what made me want to pursue dental hygiene? And honestly, what really did make me want to pursue dental hygiene was growing up with my dentist. I had a Black woman dentist. Her name was Dr. Shirley Murphy, and she was quite literally my favorite. Like, I used to love going to the dentist. Like, they had this really awesome fish tank. They used to have like the best toys in the lobby, okay? Honestly, those toys are still there. Like, I still see the little foam blocks that I used to play with when I was a kid. I'm like, girl, them things are old as hell. But that's what this is obviously is not exactly how I responded. But I just told them straight up, like, you know, my dentist, she really made me love going to the dentist, and she made me want to do this profession. And also, health. Like, I think people don't understand how important it is, like, what you're eating, right? And what you're eating is important too, but if you can't eat the stuff that you need, well, then you're not gonna have any nourishment in your body. And so that's why your teeth and your mouth are so very important, okay? And your teeth and your mouth are also a huge part of your immune system as well. So that's what really encouraged me to, you know, to basically apply for dental hygiene school. And then of course I elaborated a little more on that too. I elaborated a little more, but that's basically was a little sprinkle that I did on that question. The fifth question that they asked me was, what have you done to prepare for dental hygiene school? And I told them, like, straight up, I have received all A's on my prerequisites, especially my sciences, like my anatomy and physiology, my chemistry as well. I've even taken biology classes and received A's in those as well. I told them that I have started to prepare financially. I have been saving money. This is something that I've been working on for 2 years, starting my prerequisites. The first time I went to a dental hygiene interview, or a dental hygiene meeting that they're having, was 2018, but I started really saving my money and deciding that this is what I really wanted to do in 2020. So I buckled down, I started saving money, I started taking my classes. I've done things like look up YouTube videos as well. I've been watching a lot of YouTube videos. Teeth Talk Girl, I watch her all the time. And then I also told them that I shadowed a dental hygienist just to confirm and make sure that this is something that I wanted to do. Even though that it was waived for that year, I still went and shadowed my 40 hours just to completely make sure, like, is this a job I could do? Is this something I could see myself doing? Yeah, and yeah, that's what I said for that. Sorry about the costume change, y'all. I went to go work out. But the sixth and final question that they asked me was, name a time where you made a huge mistake and you had to recover from that. So I actually studied abroad and back in 2017. So I told them about this story, and this lady, I'm not gonna lie, I had her on the edge of the seat because I was really just talking to her like we were really close friends. And I just told her about the time where I went out when I was studying abroad in San Jose, Costa Rica, because I've met some girls who are also studying abroad, and we went out super late at night to go see a movie. And after the movie was done, I took a bus back home. And so I hopped on what I thought was going to be my bus back home, but the bus was going the opposite direction of where I needed to go. And then the bus gets to the last stop. Also, my phone is dying. I'm literally on like 1 or 2%. And also, I don't speak the language that well. I'm 2 weeks in. So we get to the last stop and we're in the middle of downtown, and they're like, oh, you have to get off the bus. This is it. This is the last stop. I'm like, oh my God, what's going on? So I have to call a taxi cab. I have to speak Spanish, like the little Spanish that I do know. And I was freaking out the whole time, and my phone's about to die. I finally get a cab. The cab driver then tells me, oh, he can't take cars, so he has to call another cab driver. Then my phone dies, and I'm like, oh my God, if my phone dies and this cab leaves, I'm gonna be stuck and stranded. But all in all, I used my Spanish. I kept my wits about me. I didn't freak out, and I made it through, and I made it back home that night. My mama Tika was like, how do you get on the wrong bus? You just get on the bus, you know? But what happened was I got on the bus on the wrong side of the street. You catch the bus on the opposite side of the street. Duh. But yeah, that was basically, I told her that story, and she was really eating it up. It was great. I had a great time telling her that story too. Of course, I went in more detail, but I don't want to make this video too long. But seriously, if y'all have any questions, let me know. Comment down below. Please like, please subscribe. I'm totally new to the YouTube world, so let me know how to make it more professional for you, okay? And just keep in mind, when you are doing your interviews, the people who are interviewing you, they just want to see your personality, and they also want to see you be able to make real world connections to the questions that they ask. So good luck, y'all. See y'all next time.